Guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll take my favorite, probably one of my favorite aircraft next to the 777 from Flight Factor, and definitely my favorite aircraft in general aviation, the Challenger 650. And this is the closest thing you will get to when you want a career mode in XPlane. I mean, MSF 2024 has it, I know. I don't have the MSF 2024, but I do have XPlane, and there is a career mode to this aircraft, and it's very close to like flying a real thing. The reason why I say it is, well, look at this thing. It's beautiful. You can open up so many hatches. Look at everything there is to it. We'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to show you something else. If you walk out from the apron towards the hangar, you will find the FBO, the flight office, whatever that is called, and you can actually talk to your dispatcher or to your handling agent, which is pretty cool. So what we're going to tell her is, I don't know the call sign actually, doesn't matter at the time. We're going to depart, this is the time now, we're going to depart in around, let's say, 15 minutes. I want to have Chat A, and I want to have a passengers. We have 2 passengers and 2 crew members. It's pretty cool. Date, signed. There we go.
Of course, Captain. I'll get that organized for you right away.
She will get that organized for me right away. So let's walk out to you got some flight planning offices in here as well. Let's just walk out to the aircraft. I don't want to bother you with that kind of stuff. And we already have a flight plan planned by our flight dispatcher. Just going to walk into the aircraft real quick. And it's not fully cold and dark, the aircraft anymore. The only thing I did is get the external power switch on, and also get the battery master towards on position. This is the only thing that I did. And well, this is a flight plan. We're gonna fly to CL650 airport today. CL650 airport looks like this. It's a very small airport, probably never seen a Challenger 650 there. It's a very short runway, but you know, I like to do the challenges. I mean, if you would calculate landing distance, takeoff distance, you would probably not be able to make it in there. But it's a beautiful place. I've been there with the real aircraft, with a little propeller aircraft with a 2-seater. And I want to go there with the Challenger 650 today and just see what it can do. I think it has a runway of around like 800 meters or so. It's not that long of a runway, but it's probably fine. We'll check it out once we are airborne. But this is a flight plan. We already have it in our aviation tablet, so we're just gonna put that away. But first, we need to do the walk around, because first, this jet is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful jet, and I really want to immerse you into this real flying scenario here. We are here in Menorca Airport. Menorca Airport, you know, this is Mallorca in the Mediterranean Sea. This is Menorca, and we're going to take off from here. It's about a 1 hour, 40 minutes flight time, and then we're going to do a nice visual approach, I think preceded by an RMP approach and followed by a visual approach for runway 27 in CL650. Now, our maintenance guys did all of that, but we can close it all up if you want. This is the weather radar. This is the landing lights you see here. Avionics compartment, even with the fans turning here, you can hear the fans working, which is quite good. Quite good stuff. And yeah, we can close all that up. You can even lock it if you want, which is pretty cool. Close that up as well. We can check the landing lights if they work. They do work. Let's close it up. The weather radar dome, pretty cool stuff. I can even crouch down here and get all the things closed up. And funny enough, when you scooch in here, you can actually see the landing gear, and the landing gear doors are open. And there's a way to close them, because this is not the way it should be. If we go back into the flight deck, well, let's actually try to close them. There is a switch right by the ground power panel, which is pretty cool. You can walk up to it, and then it's a little weird. And there's this switch which says flight closed door, nose landing gear door open, switch S3GA. So we just close it like this, and actually it will not close. You see that? And there is a simple reason for that. You know what we need for the flight deck door to close? it's hydraulics. So we're just gonna go back into the flight deck and switch on. I don't know what hydraulics exactly it will power, but let's switch. Let's just put a Moldu on, then walk back out there, and we can actually now close the flight, the nose landing gear doors with that switch, which is pretty cool. So you can actually check out during a walk around your nose landing gear doors and all the hydraulics and stuff, and then you can just close it back up like this, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. So we got that sorted out. Let's check out if we have any remove before flight tags in here. Yeah, we do have. Let's just put them away, then close this hatch as well. And other business sheds, this would actually be kind of a cargo compartment, but not in this one. Just gonna close it up back here, latch it, close it, and then you can actually also see the oxygen panel. You know what we're gonna do? We are gonna go ground service, and we're gonna say toggle cell phone, call Hot Start FBO. Just gonna call the FBO and tell them we need fuel, because I think the fuel is 1.6. We need about 2 tons of block fuel. I request a refueling. Why does this not work? Fueling. Why can't I request refueling? I think I have to go back in there and fill up maybe the forms again.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
All right, Captain.
Fuel truck is hooked up. Okay, I don't need fuel. Pump this many liters. Let's just say pump 1,000 liters. Pump 1,000 liters.
All right, I'm gonna go start up the pump.
And also, you need to have a fuel panel right there, and you have to open the fuel valves, is what I think. So let's just fuel, and let's open up the fuel valves. And then they're open, and then he can actually fuel the tanks. Open. I guess that's how it works, you know. So let's see. Let's just walk out there and do the walk around, complete the walk around, because it's a beautiful aircraft, as I said. You have the ground power here connected. It's at 115 volt, 400 hertz ground power. You got the a lot of panels here. You also have answer.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny from Hot Start Flight Support. Your passengers have arrived. Shall I have them brought to the plane?
Yes.
Understood.
I mean, we're not
We'll be
ready
there
yet,
in a couple of
but
minutes.
they can
Anything
just
else?
chill in the plane. No, thank you. Nothing else matters.
Always
Okay.
a pleasure. Take care.
Leading edge of the aircraft doesn't have any slats, just has flaps. And actually, the ailerons work at this time because we have switched on all the hydraulics. Beautiful engine here, very powerful. This thing goes. It's a really rocket ship. Got the rudder right here. Beautiful, beautiful animations. This is definitely the best looking aircraft there is on XPlane. Bleed air pressure, cabin pressure. Yeah, okay, you can kind of do that here. There's an APU control switch here, which is pretty cool. Can we start the APU from here? Pretty cool. We can. I think we cannot do that. That's pretty cool stuff. We can shut it down from here, which is pretty cool. Let's lock it up. Okay, let's continue. Beautiful aircraft. Doesn't have any leaks. We're just gonna remove the chocks as well here. Actually, we don't need that. Let's leave the front one in here. Let's remove them. I don't know how it works when you are in the aircraft. And also, let's set the parking brake. Where's the parking brake?
Refueling is complete, Captain. Do you need anything else?
No, you can go ahead and
Just
disconnect.
one quick signature on here, and I'll be on my way.
Total price 1,200. Wow. There you go.
Here's a copy for your record.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
Bye bye. Is the parking brake set? I don't know. Parking brake is on. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna just fire out the APU here while the passengers are coming. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable in the cabin.
Hello,
See the
Captain.
APU here.
Hope you are doing well today. Great. There's nobody else coming along today. So as far as we're concerned, we're all good to go.
Okay, you gotta wait a few minutes, which is just gotta prepare the flight a bit. But we're gonna take off in about 10 minutes, or go off block in 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm not really a friend of the kind of avionics behavior, and just so much easier to fly 777, fly an A320, fly the Embraer. APU gen is off. Let's just go ahead and switch it on. And also the bleed. You can switch on the bleed system. So I have a little bit of air. APU. I don't know how the bleed system exactly works. But I know that for flight, everything should be blank. Should be fine. We can switch off the hydraulics here for the time. Good. Okay, guys. So this is the FMC, and we're just gonna put in the FMC. Now, of course, I'm not a Challenger 650 pilot. I don't know how exactly it works, but we'll figure it out. It's not too hard. We go to legs page. We go to okay. There's still some in here. We go to the flight plan page. Yeah, there it is. We're flying to Lima Oscar Whiskey Zulu. Our alternate will be Lima Oscar Whiskey Sierra. Execute the flight. Departures. Let's see what the weather is like here in Menorca. At the moment we have 240 at 14 degrees, so we're going to depart runway 19er. Departure runway 19er, and what is the departure SID that has been filed in the flight plan? Let's check that out. Easter to Delta departure. There it is. Execute. Let's go to the legs page. Let's continue. Easter, and after Easter, it's gonna be. There it is. Flight plan. Easter to Delta. Then we're gonna fly UN 851 towards Lunar. It's just like one waypoint. Lunar. Lunar. Then we're gonna go to Genoa VOR. Scroll down here. Getso. What is the next? Oh, come on. What is this? Getso, and then it's Selamsey direct. Execute that. Let's go to departure arrival. Let's go and index. Let's select the arrival runway to 6. Runway extended 5 nautical miles. Let's try that. I hope the weather is good today, because in Linz it's quite cloudy. Okay, that's it. We go to flight plan page. Let's see if that is all in there. Legs page. Let's delete the discontinuity. Execute. Let's go to the performance initialization. It's a weird, very weird FMC. It's so if you're struggling with that aircraft, don't worry. I struggle too, and I should be able to do it. Let's go to performance initialization. We have 2 passengers here. Invalid entry, okay. So let's tell them maybe I'll wait. To put the weight in here, I think we have to go up here and go to weight and balance. We have fuel weight, and now we'll put in the kind of a few. Let's say what seat 1 and 2 is going to be 170, and this sit right in front 170, and then we have seats 3 and 4, 2 passengers, like let's say 200 with baggage. Ready, okay. So calculated fuel is 2370. Let's see if that actually works. Yeah, made fuel 2370. Cruise altitude is going to be, I think, 400. Is pretty light today. Cargo. What is our weight here? Challenger 650. Okay, we have the current weight is 15597. 15597 is at least what XPlane is telling us. Let's put that in there. Okay, that should be fine. Execute. Next page. Reserve fuel. Let's just leave it at 900 for the time. It's probably less than that. It should be in here what the reserve fuel is. Fuel is 2 tons block fuel, and we have a reserve fuel. 400. Let's just put it at 500 for the time. A little bit more conservative. The VNAV settings is all good. Let's go to performance inits. Let's actually go to performance. Yeah, there it is. Temperature today here in Menorca is 17 degrees, quite good. Has -4. It had -4 here in Linz yesterday, so pretty warm temperatures. Let's go to second page. Let's takeoff mode is takeoff. And now where is our takeoff? Here it is. Takeoff. We're gonna say 17 degrees. Good runway length of 2,500 meters. Next page, CG trim. I'm not sure of that, but we just gonna send the takeoff data here to the PFD. Again, I'm not sure of the ZG because, or maybe it's here. No, it's not here. That's fine for the time. Let's continue. Everything's fine. So I think I'm not a Challenger pilot, so I don't know exactly the setup that I should be doing, but for the time I think this is fine. The QNH is 1011. We're just gonna set that in the box here. 1011, and I think it's on here as well. Perfect. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna close ground power out. And also we're gonna close the doors. Yeah, there. This is how I close the doors. Sorry, guys. This is how I do it. Perfect. Cabin is beautiful. Cabin is beautiful already. I think we can go ahead and close the doors. Beautiful look at San Jose Airport. Really cool. Beautiful. Okay, guys, I think we are ready for departure. We're gonna do our overhead panel setup. Beacon is turned on. And then we're pretty much done, I think. So let's tell him we want to start engine 1. Engine 1 is clear. Let's go up here and start engine 1. Continuous A, start. Yeah, we have to set up the overhead panel first. We told him we're gonna start engine 1 and now started engine 2, whatever, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, fuel. We have to put in the fuel manually. There we go. At 20% N2 is, I think, where we should have introduced fuel with a little bit later, but nothing to worry about. Okay. Engine number 2 is almost stabilized. We're going to start engine number 1. Engine 1 is clear. Start engine 1. And 2 is rising. I love the good quality screens here and how big they are. There we go. Love the ITT limit. With our aircraft, I think it's on the start more like 700, 600 degrees, and here it's like 1000 degrees. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, guys. Looks good to me. A normal start. I'm gonna tell him. Perfect. That's it. Just gonna get generators on here and shut down the APU. Get the hydraulics going. We're gonna close that up here. Ignition to normal. Set flaps to takeoff 20. Arm the thrust reversers. And ground spoilers to auto. What kind of ICAS messages do we have here? Yaw damper. Yaw damper, put them on. Mach trim. Emergency lights. We forgot to do that. Arm. Mach trim. Stabilizer trim. Okay, I think we're pretty much good to go. Mach trim is in up for now it's away. Perfect. Next thing is we're gonna switch on the transponder. It's just gonna be tuning, standby, TARA. Okay, we're gonna request taxi, get our taxi lights going. Taxi light is on. Release parking brake. Okay, we are moving. Perfect. I'm gonna taxi out here. Initial climb is gonna be, let's say, 7,000 feet. It's a nice number. And that's it for the time. V2 is gonna be 132. So we're gonna set the indicated airspeed selector to 142. V2 plus 10 is the initial speed we're gonna pitch for. Put the flight director towards on. Get the nav, LNAV ready. Taxi route is going to be just straight out and to the right. And there's the VNAV as well. We can maybe get the VNAV ready as well. VNAV, where is it? There it is. VNAV is VPitch is armed. Whatever that means. Takeoff config goes okay, is what he says here. And the thrust reversers are armed for departure for the case if we have to recheck the takeoff. Yeah, beautiful. And you will see that aircraft really has a lot of power. We're gonna do takeoff without flags today, so just full throttle up here. It's amazing how powerful this jet really is. Pretty phenomenal. Again, and how do I zoom? I'll tilt the range, maybe. Oh, this is how I zoom, okay. Pretty cool. Get the radar going here, and set the heading towards the heading we're gonna take off from, so. We also have a head-up guidance system, which is pretty cool, like in the Embraer. As you see here, head-up display. Not gonna use it today, but we do have that, which is pretty cool. So let's just accelerate a taxi towards the back of the runway. There we are. He says check fuel destination. Well, but the block fuel is 2 tons. We have 2.4 in here, so we should be good. So approach sector to the right is clear. We're clear to line up and take off. Runway to, what is it? Runway to 0. 19, I think. Okay, let's switch on the. Let's get up here. Switch on all the lights. Anti-collision logo we don't need. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's see. Okay, we are ready for takeoff. I hope you guys are ready too. Let's see what this thing can do. I'm gonna do a rolling takeoff. I'm gonna arm it auto throttle when we are on the runway. Just gonna try to stabilize the engines, and then it's a little bit hard to do because the button to engage the auto throttle is back here. Is this working, guys, or not? Ah yeah, there it is. We go to N2 sync. Doesn't work, guys. We're just gonna have to manually throttle up here towards takeoff power. Check thrust. Thrust is checked. V1, rotate. Positive rates, gear up. Flight director is doing something. Look at the power, guys. This is amazing. Let's reduce the power a bit. Let's say it's like climb power. Let's just put it to 86 for the time. I think this is just sufficient enough here. Let's select the autopilot. Hertz speed, autopilot. LNAV is engaged. Let's try to get the auto throttle working here. Would be big of a help. Speed. No, we don't want a speed mode. Not if the speed is below us. Let's go to 220 for the speed mode. This is fine. Let's pitch down a bit. Flaps up. Perfect, guys. Beautiful aircraft. Okay, we have already been cleared to level 400 because we are a very important jet today. So we're just gonna put in level 400 here. And check fuel destination on our ICAS screen is already gone. That's good. Let's go to. Let's now go to flight level change. Flight level change. Where is it? There it is. Flight level change, and let's select on this thrust rating page. There is a way to select climb power, I think. Let's go to. This is just so hard to like. There is a one button on the Embraer on the FMC on the MCDU. We can just change the thrust settings and the thrust limits, but here it's a little bit harder to dig into. Let's go to maybe performance, whenever I might find it. Let's go to performance. Yeah, there it is. Let's select climb power. We're climbing away here with 4,800 feet per minute with clean aircraft, which is quite mad. Quite good climb speed here. So after climb checks, it's gonna be, let's set standard first. Standard cross checked. Passing 905 now. Okay. Gonna go up here. Lights to off. Taxi lights to off. That's it. Seatbelt sign can go off. They were off. And now I wanna have the normal speed schedule of the FMC, but I don't know how I set that. Let's just put it in 290 for the time, and we'll fly the departure here. I do like the way that I can adjust my range by hovering over some screen, over any screen I want to change the range from, and then that's very cool. So this is the PFD, this is the MFD screen range. Although I'm not sure how to like scroll through with plan mode, which would be a nice feature. I think there should actually be an RP approach available. So let's check the fuel at the destination if that's an option that we can actually do. It's definitely an option that that thing has. Program. Okay, fuel at 860 in Salzburg, alternate, and 960 in Lima Whiskey Zulu, which I don't think we do definitely need more than 100 kilograms from Lima Whiskey Oscar Zulu. Sorry guys, to Salzburg. But let's see. Let's see how our departure was flown. Pretty good actually. Around the island here, a Arnov overlay departure. Arnov overlay departure means that it's actually a conventional departure like a VOR and DB departure, but that you have now an Arnov overlay, which makes it much easier to fly, because usually in the old days without Arnov you would have had to use DME ARC procedures for departure, which is just so much workload to do. So this is why this is way more comfortable and way more easier without too much of a workload. Just gonna go accelerate 320 here. Yeah, fuel is fine. Let's go out and check out the aircraft from outside. Guys, this is so good. Got pulsating landing lights here. I don't actually need that. Let's put that to off. Such a beautiful jet. I mean, maybe it's a little bit too short, but I don't care. It's just beautiful. We got all the window blinds closed here. Firing out here. Pretty good stuff. Beautiful stuff. Let's go back into the cabin. Let's check out the cabin for a bit before we head to the cruise phase. Maybe open up the blinds here. Check out the view a bit. Beautiful how the light follows the shadows. We can sit down, feel like a real important person. You see the flight map here, which is pretty cool. Let's go back. Have a toilet here, a water kind of sink. Pretty cool stuff. Wow. This would be a nice jet to own. Yeah, there's a little pantry here. But yeah, you can actually close the blinds here. A door status, this is cool. What else can I do? Announcement. Temperature. Lights. Just put on all the lights. Okay. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's the lights probably. Got a coffee maker, got a fridge here. Pretty cool stuff. And also got a curtain, which I can use to kind of this is actually some kind of feeding curtain. We do have that in the Embraer as well. Come on, I want to stop the announcement. How can I do it? This is some kind of curtain that we use actually in the Embraer as well on long enough lights, because the cabin crew would sit during takeoff. Where would the cabin crew sit during takeoff? My guess is in the galley, but there is no jump seat in here. Maybe there's a jump seat here. Maybe I'm kind of missing a jump seat, but she wouldn't sit with the. Maybe she would sit here with the passengers, with the clients, with the guests, or here in the back. No, she would probably sit in the front in the galley area, and during longer flights. This is actually getting very cold here because the door is not completely like airtight, and this is why it gets kind of cold. This is actually what the curtain is for. We have a curtain here in the Embraer as well, and there's just some kind of hissing. Sometimes not completely 100% like airtight. It's a cold area to be in the galley actually, and this is why also where we have a galley floor heating, so the floor is heated in the galley, so it's just to stay cozy. This is that, just a door. It's not completely airtight all the time. This is what a curtain is for. Not good isolation here. So head back into the flight deck. Let's put that to Mach conversion so we don't run into any overspeed problems. Let's put it just to 7.8. It's going to probably be fine. And let's actually, I think that's it for the time. Just climbing out here, and I will get to you back when we are in a descent, do an approach briefing, brief the RMP approach, and land in CL650, which is a beautiful place to be. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to catch you in probably around 1 hour. Guys, welcome back. In this flight, we have reached our top of descent. I've already commenced our descent. So how we did this, I just put in 10,000 in the auto selector, and VNAV was armed. Then it did it all by itself. We still have manual speed here. We are just inbound Nanit, which is about 27 miles out. We should be at 10,000 feet at Nanit. And as you might recall, 10 times 3, 10,000 we have to go here. So 10 times 3 is about 30 miles. Perfect descent planning here by the Challenger 650. I'm going to talk a little bit about the approach. As I told you earlier, we do a visual approach, but the weather conditions out here are not favorable for a visual approach. We have broken at 10,000 feet or something, so we gotta go below that cloud layer. So kind of a cloud breaking procedure. The difference between an RP approach and a cloud breaking procedure is generally they are really the same thing, although a cloud breaking procedure is has a much higher minimum usually. It's like a very a bad RMP approach, as you might could call it. So this is the chart that I have here, and you might see that we're gonna start at Nanit. We have a holding here. If we would have to hold, but we do not have to do that today. 10,000 above. Then follow those waypoints. This is initial approach fix, intermediate fix, final approach fix, and missed approach point here through the valley. This should, we're gonna follow that with a path. I hope that there is a GP kind of coming online that we can follow down towards the missed approach point. I hope there is one. If not, we're going to just follow these VNAV paths, and then, it's going to be a visual approach anyways. We can already kind of see the valley, but not perfectly at this time. The minima is 5630. We have that put in here, 5680. It's temperature corrected for the minima, 2.5 degrees. We could definitely pull more degrees of climb, but we're just going to put in 5640. The 2.5 degrees is this is the missed approach climb gradient with a single engine. So any airliner could do like 7% with 2 engines, no problem. Maybe not the A340, but any airliner could do 7% definitely with no problem. But this is really about the single engine missed approach gradient. 2.5% is standard, and this is really every aircraft should be capable of this. But if it's higher than that, usually in the embryo we calculate it, or if we know for certain that they're like 3.42% on a winter day with no ice. Icing conditions would decrease that rating as well. With no ice and with like minimum passengers, we immediately know that we can do it. But at different occasions, we might have to calculate it, and we do that in the embryo as well. But today we will not do that because we take 2.5% anyways. Speaking of the commencement of the approach, we are definitely... What is that doing? Should decrease the speed a bit because we're doing kind of a turn at this point now, which is just too early. Commencement of the approach, well, landing performance wise, performance is out of range, which means that we are way too heavy, and the runway is just way too short. It's about 800 meters of runway. So what we have to do is we have to arm our spoilers right here. I put them to off during flight, maybe because I was scared that they deploy automatically. I don't know whether there is an off position to that. But yeah, it should do a good job of kind of following the path, I think. I don't know why. Was there a speed constraint on Nanit? Wasn't a speed constraint, I think. What we're just gonna do is we're gonna put the alt selector, and we're just gonna follow with word speed for the time. Max speed brake. Just gonna go word speed for the time and just try to recapture our path. I think we're good here. V path again. I think we have to put the landing gear down. Gear down. Nose door open. We're gonna put the landing gear down for just for the brakes, to have a little bit of braking action, and it does slow us down quite substantially. We're gonna put in the QNH, which is current QNH is 1004. 1004. I think we should be good. But it really does have a hard time kind of maintaining the path here. We're going to be visual approach from here on anyway, so we're just going to use this as guidance, but yeah, I think we're good. Maybe we can put the landing gear back in again. Just needed for some speed reduction here, and let's see how the plane does right now. So let's just put in flaps, the first notch of flaps here, and make it really slow. Path pitch. Why is it not descending anymore? Should we have armed the approach? We should probably have. Should have done that. So it's just gonna go back on the approach. Just gonna do a visual approach from here on anyway. So you might just turn off everything and just go hand fly that thing from here. So that's what we're gonna do now. Flight director off. No go around, bitch. No go around, come on. Disengage. Now the disengage thing is gonna blink the whole time now because we did not disengage it with the kind of... Normally you would disengage it with what is on the throttle here, but I can't reach that, and I do not have it labeled on any of my buttons here, so it's gonna blink from now on. Maybe we can reach it. Now we can reach it. Perfect. Easy. Okay, so things looking good. Let's see if we actually can already see the runway. Yeah, it's right there. So perfect. And mileage wise, we are about... Yeah, minimum's down here anyway, so it's just gonna slow down a bit, put the gear out. I have already calculated the approach speed with the help of the FMC, so that shouldn't be an issue. Speed VAC is the approach climb speed. If you, in case of go around. Just gonna put it to reference speed. Gonna fly 124 knots. I just want to be stable quite early in this approach. We're gonna just put in flaps full at this time. Spoilers are already armed. Reverses are down. I think we are pretty much ready to land the thing here. Gonna put in some throttle here, and also what I like about this add-on is you can put up the big PFD without any glare and just use it as you would do in a real thing, which is pretty cool. I think we're still a little bit high. There is no poppy on here, so we're pretty much on ourselves. this point. I'm really sad about the RMP approach not working correctly. I didn't see as a speed constraint, so I was pretty unhappy with the way turn. I was definitely way too fast, probably. I was way too fast, so might try a second try with a slower speed. And also, of course, I think for this category of aircraft, I definitely think that this is not authorized for an approach to do. We're just a little bit high, I think. Bank angle. Wow, okay. I think we're definitely high, yeah. Speed brake up.
1,000.
Guys, this is not gonna work. Go arounds. Flaps 20.
Go around thrust set.
Positive rates. Gear up. Gonna level off here.
Positive rate.
Gonna leave flaps 20 for a time. Gonna leave the auto throttle disengaged. And we're gonna perform another approach here. A visual approach in this case. Gonna put on some flaps again. Just slow us down. I'm on idle at this time. 4,000 feet, 3,900 is set at this time, so we're just gonna use that as a reference. Gonna put out flaps full. Terrain is checked. We're in visual contact here. I mean, we're not supposed to maneuver in this kind of tight area anyway, so. Okay, have flaps 45 set. Gear down. Try another time, guys. I really messed up in the last video with my approach on the Seychelles Island with the Lineage 1000. I don't want to do this again. So let's just do a proper approach for this time. And the co-pilot might have kind of messed up my speed here. So let's put that back to VAC. Don't want to be too slow in the final approach turn here. But it was definitely too high, and too high is definitely not the right way you want to do a short field landing that performance-wise you actually shouldn't do. So just gonna put some throttle here, not to fly too slow. We got flaps 45 for landing. Bank angle is checked. You see how filthy that aircraft is. It's just not easy to fly in the controls. It's so... Maybe that's only an excuse. Okay, we got the runway inside. I think that looks good now. We're gonna go in low and slow definitely here. And once we are on the ground, we're gonna go reverse full, brakes full. I don't know if we make it, guys, so... Let's see. It's way too fucking,
100.
excuse my language, way too short of runway.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Way too short of runway, guys. Might never want to try that again. Way too short of runway. You know, guys, we're gonna try that one more time. There's a nice option here in the Challenger, which gets you to go to Airframe Manager, let's say approach 1,000 feet. AGL, let's fly that. And then you will be back on the approach for the runway 27 here. Yeah, that's confirmed. Let's see if it works. And you can try another time, which is quite nice, I think. So let's try that. Yeah, as I said, guys, this is way, way, way too short of runway to actually fly to. And there are also some trees in the front of the threshold. This is why you have a displaced threshold. And this is why it would have been maybe a better option to just approach from the other end. But For the time being, is there any way to set auto brakes here on this aircraft? No steer, auto brake, anti-skid armed. No auto brake here, fortunately. I think no, there's no auto brake to be set here. Doesn't matter. We're just going to try again here. And that's a really nice option that you have on this aircraft, is to actually do this like one more time. If you ground spoilers deploy. Why is this deployed? Because probably was in the reverse detained for it like a second or so. I want to go ground. Don't want to go bank angle again. We have in landing configuration already. So we're just gonna try to land that thing one more time without making a hard landing as well. So speed is really low, below our reference speed, but I think we cannot do any more than that. I mean, we are way too big of an aircraft to land here. I think 5.7 tons is the maximum they allow, and we are like 13 tons, so way too heavy.
100. Sync rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Floating. We kind of made it. I mean, it's a challenge for me, you know. I know this is not like the most realistic thing ever, but I like to fly the 777 in Firenze in Italy as well. I was there yesterday in the real jet, in the E-jet, and it's so much fun to go there. Such a nice airport, such a nice ground staff, and really good fun here. I know this is not realistic at all here to land here this jet, but I just figured why not. I do the realistic stuff in real life anyway, so why not just have some fun? But yeah, guys, I mean, I've landed the Embraer 195 as short as from wheels touchdown to 10 knots, 500 meters. 500 meters of landing distance. Of course, this is with flaps full with a very light load, and I didn't even the brakes didn't even go beyond the amber numbers. So the brakes have been in the green numbers, whereas that might happen very often, even though you don't try that. So I don't. So you can definitely land the 195 at a very short distance as well. As I said, my record was from touchdown to rolling off the runway, about 550 meters. So quite good stuff, I think, quite good stuff. Forgot to start the APU. Just gonna park at the fuel area here. And then I wanna maybe watch my replay. Let's just watch that before we shut down the plane. I mean, it was a floater, and we were definitely too high, so... But let's watch it, you know. Floating. There we go. This is a normal type of... Looks like we're going off the runway. This is a normal kind of time you need to flare in the real thing. Like, it calculates it with about 7 seconds of flare time. The landing distance is calculated like that. But if you really do not mess it up, you can really get the aircraft to a stop within a very, very good amount of time. So we're gonna try to start the APU now. It's starting up. Yeah, there we go. Then we're gonna shut down the engine. Let's start with engine number 1. Shut that down. We can get up here. Hydraulics we don't need anymore at this time. beacon, yeah. APU generator goes on. Shut down engine 2. Why doesn't that work? There we go. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. I mean, the realism here is questionable. It's definitely not like a completely a thing you would do in real life. This jet has about like 12 or 13 tons of landing weight at this time, and the maximum at this airport is like 5.7. So definitely not the right thing to do. It's much more like a TVM PC-12 type of airport here. So, but the landing distances are very conservatively calculated. We still have all the lights on. This is just embarrassing. A very conservatively calculated all the landing distances. So this is why you might be surprised at how small of a landing distance a jet really needs. But of course, we would never land anywhere where the landing distance is not sufficient with the runway. And the landing distance is calculated with weather conditions and wind conditions. Also, runway coefficient plays a big role. So you get dry and wet, and you have all kinds of coefficients that are actually measured by a group of people with a kind of a measuring car. So there's a runway coefficient friction measurement. There's a kind of a car you might see here. Yeah, this is this kind of stuff. So, and they're measuring the runway coefficient with this vehicle, and that will be published on the 80s. This is the matrix. Good is wet, and dry is 6. Medium to good, we see that, and they will do that. If your jet lands ahead of you and reports the landing coefficient of, let's say, 2, even though it was reported at good, then you have to recalculate your landing distance conservatively with the given number. And usually, when it rained like one time, when it rained during the day in Vienna, at least, then it's a whole day like wet runway, even though it's not wet anymore. But you have to calculate what is in the 80s, and the only thing that a wet runway coefficient in the takeoff performance will do is reduce your V1 speed, which is, for me, not really understandable, because even with a wet runway with the dry V1 speed, you will still have like a 500 or 6 meter stop margin, and then you would reduce your V1 and you have like 700 meters of stop margin. But I don't get why we don't use the whole runway. It's calculated in the program. It's normal behavior. But I mean, you could have the same V1 as on a dry runway, but just less stop distance or a stop margin available. But this is maybe a topic for another video. Yeah, guys, I hope you liked it. I know this is pretty unrealistic and unusual. Would have been better, we would have approached from this side of the runway, although there's a mountain here, so it's stabilized. It's not that easy. But guys, in the next video, we'll take probably an Airbus long range or even a 777 out here and fly again in some kind of this jet. But until then, I hope you still liked it. Any suggestions, put them down in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.